Hi everyone, and you're joining me on the Talking Carp video podcast with none other than, I'm sure a lot of you will know this young lad, Owen Gardner, aka the Little Carper.
Yeah,
Owen, how you doing?
yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. Not too bad, doing all right.
Good,
Yeah,
good. I see you've got your dad there next to you, Andy. How are you?
I'm a man.
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good, good. So, yeah, as I say, a bit of a social media fishing sensation, and it's all come about relatively quick. So, I suppose we should start off with how did you get into fishing? Where did the journey begin for you?
Yeah, so obviously back in lockdown when we were all trapped inside, I've always been a massive fan of Top Gear. So been watching Top Gear. And then I don't know how, can't quite remember, but must have stumbled across Monster Carp. Now I always thought as Monster Carp as like a fishing version of Top Gear. So watched all the episodes in fairly quick time. And when this because they lifted the restrictions pretty quick on fishing, I'm pretty sure. So I said to Dad, let's go out. See, he did it years and years ago when he was a kid as well. So we went to a local tackle shop and then got a little whip, not a big one at all, float maggots as you do, and went to my local river, the River Brew. And no joke, we must have had about 50 little rod and ropes, not big at all, in the space of an hour, if that. So it was brilliant. So
Okay.
did that for probably half a year. And then I was like, starting to see videos of all carp and stuff. So I want to try a bit of max fishing, say. So we had this sea rod and then the feeder rod. And we went to a local fishery of mine and got into the carp side of stuff. So we probably did that for a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And then it's obviously a step up again to carp fishing. So 3 rods, and then it's just been brilliant. Been everywhere. Yeah, it's just been brilliant. Haven't really looked back from the feeder really. So from
Right.
there on, it's been good. Yeah.
Okay, bro. And Andy, where did you fit into that? Owen said that you'd fished years ago. So was this something that you wanted to be involved in, or did you just kind of get dragged along because that's what Owen was doing?
Well, like Owen said, yeah, I did sort of dabble with it, but it was really just a bunch of mates,
Yeah.
early teens, just local river. And I think, if we were all honest, we were all sort of down there because we were all down there as a group together rather than actual fishing. So I didn't really, I didn't really have a clue about
Still going,
how to
hey.
fish. Well, I had to sort of learn the basics quite quickly because I was, what was it, 10 at the time. So
Right.
when I got home from work and he sort of looked over the sofa while still watching Monster Carp, and said to me, "Oh, Dad, can we have a go at fishing?" I did sort of freeze on the spot and think, where on earth do I start with this? But I didn't want to try to persuade him, otherwise, because it was something that he showed an interest in himself. And obviously, there's no restriction with it. Um, he can do it, despite his height, and, things like rugby, football, which he's interested in as well, was a little bit more difficult for him to join in with his friends and everyone else. So, I was kind of delighted that he'd found something that he was interested in. But also, where do I start? So, yeah, I had to hit YouTube and start to learn some basics. And it
Because
just,
sorry, yeah, you initially though, was it your local tackle shop that sort of
yeah,
give you a lot of pointers, put you in
oh,
the
massive.
right places?
Yeah. Yeah. So, we went and they hadn't opened long. Burnham Angling in our local, town, hadn't opened long just before COVID hit.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so yeah, I wanted to get some stuff for him when I realised it wasn't something that was just going to be an interest that was sort of, gone with the wind quite quickly. So, Dean absolutely, helped us out loads what to get, starting with some of the basics, nothing expensive, and just really got us going. Um, yeah, and it's just gone from strength to strength from there.
Yeah, I mean that's good. It's nice that you get that support, but as I say, for you to recognise that it was something that Owen could do without any issues really. Um, so getting back to you, Owen. So was there obviously you said you started off using a whip and a float and
Yeah,
catching bits, catching silvers. Was there a moment during that sort of you're up and coming into a capture or a particular carp that kind of really said yes, this is what, or was it just the fact you were catching carp and
just the fact I was catching, this is fun, seeing the float go under. It's still nothing like it now. It's just brilliant, because you either see the quiver tip bend round, float go under, hear the alarm go off. It's like three different things that are still brilliant. I could happily do both every day,
right?
so it's never really been a specific fish that I've been after, say. Obviously, you aim for a PV depending on where you go, but yeah, never really a specific certain fish I wanted to catch. Just wanted to catch them.
Yeah. Okay. So
One.
if you had to choose then
Yeah,
whether you did sort of silver fishing or
yeah.
just carp fishing, I take it it's just the carp fishing
Oh,
is your
definitely.
focus.
100% now,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay. So I suppose, well, you've mentioned there about PBs. So I think a lot of people will be quite surprised at tell us what your PB is.
There's 44 too, but I've never caught a 30. I know.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. You kind of skipped the whole 30s bit.
Yeah. Never caught
Um,
a 30.
so where did you have the 40 from?
That was John's Land Fishery. John's Land, that was, where is it? Devon Way?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
around that way. There's got some
Okay.
heaps in that house. Yeah.
So was that just a weekend fishing, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, if you've got there's like your own lodge there. So you go for a weekend. It's my birthday weekend actually, wasn't it? So for a birthday present, mum and
Oh,
dad got me
okay.
that. And yeah, so I think we have 4 fits, 2 20s and two 40s of
Not
Matt.
me, you.
Oh yeah, me, yeah.
He wouldn't let me fish.
Yeah. Yeah. No, because we all know what would happen. He was like, "Oh, go on, let your sister have it." I was like, "Not a chance." Because
Yeah,
we all know.
yeah. I think I actually think you'd probably need another trip if your sister had caught the 40.
Oh God, don't. I'd have to move out. I honestly, there wouldn't have been a day go by where they wouldn't have mentioned it. So
No,
yeah,
obviously, I'm going to have to mention the grass carp because
yeah,
obviously I've been doing this for 44 years and I've never caught a grass carp. But
yeah,
your dad, who technically is a non-angler,
yeah,
has actually gone and done a grass carp
yeah.
before
Well,
you have.
kind of,
It was
kind
easy.
of.
It was the
Oh,
it was the biggest fish of the weekend
yeah,
as
it
well.
was. Yeah.
Oh, right. So it
Now let
wasn't
me.
just the grass carp then.
No.
No, and let me explain my point now. So it's 8 o'clock, pack up day. I'll explain it quick. 8 o'clock, come out my bivvy. I'm laying in myself. Admittedly, I should have got up earlier. Looked around, and he's obviously still in bed because he's not massively into it. He is into it, but you know what I mean. But it was a cold morning. So I was like, you know what? Being the kind son I am, he's only had one fish that weekend. I'll go put his 2 rods out for him. So I changed it up the day before, baiting tactic wise because it wasn't going how it normally goes. And then suddenly it turned around. So I did what I was doing on his rods. Must have been an hour later, he had a normal, I think there's a mirror. And then the other rod, by the way, that I put out, took away half an hour before we were going. I've got the net in my hands ready. I think another guy from a swim down was talking to us as well. This fish pops his head up and he goes, "Oh, it's a grassy." And I'm like, "Oh, no, you are joking." So get it in the net and it's 20.5 pound, biggest of the weekend. And yeah, he went and caught it. So again, I've never heard it, never heard that again since, have I?
I
So
changed the rig and the bait when
no,
it was matching.
he did, he did,
Yeah,
he
I
did not.
I remember you telling me that, and I remember you messaging me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm.
So this time of year, obviously, we're into winter. I mean, winter carping's tough,
Yeah, over there.
But I understand you do a bit of predator fishing. Is that right? A bit of
Yeah,
pike, a bit
bit
of
pike
perch. That. So
every
have
now
you
and
been
then.
out much during the last few months doing anything like that?
Yeah, been out once or twice, haven't we? Not loads, not as much as I'd like to, but been
Yeah,
busy.
tomorrow.
Going out tomorrow for an hour or two down the
Okay.
Western. Yeah, fingers
So is that
crossed.
what's that on river or still
River,
water
yeah,
or yeah?
yeah,
Was
river.
Okay, brilliant.
a couple of
And
chaps.
I suppose the other thing, one of the big things that happened, considering you're such a short period of time of carping, is the teams that you are now with, which if is Mainline Baits and Rigmarole.
Yeah, yeah, no, brilliant.
So how did that come about with Mainline? Was it a bait that you had sort of used, or was it just out of the blue that?
Yeah, obviously you're familiar with it because who doesn't really know about mainline when you're into carp fishing? So obviously Spooner, Dovey, all of that. Brilliant. Lot use it. I'd used a lot of the smart liquids before, so I was, knew obviously of it. And yeah, brilliant bait. Love using it.
So
Yeah.
what's your sort of in terms of mainline, then what's your kind of, before we come to that, we'll talk, what's your kind of preferred method of carp fishing? Are you a solid bag,
Yes.
singles? Yeah,
Just about
solid
saying that.
bags.
Like a solid bag. I think it works perfectly. Easy to change over. Nice presentable on the bottom, and that you can use
Yeah.
a lot of things in it as well. So yeah.
So were you fishing solid bag when you caught your PB?
Yes, that was
Yeah.
a solid bag. Just changing over quickly, see a fish crash. It's only a small water, that one. So yeah, just makes sense too, I guess.
And what kind of baits are you putting into?
So
How you?
in the bag is the spot and PVA mix from Mainline, and then I had I can't remember. I think there's a little cell dumbbell wafter in there, just nice and simple. So yeah, that was worked well. It always has worked well for me, I guess.
Okay,
So
bro.
yeah,
And in terms of sort of your end tackle, like with
yeah.
rigmarole, what's your kind of go to stuff that they supply?
So I use their free fall sinking braid. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Clearly.
yeah.
But so that's nice and soft. Obviously, I don't know if you see that bend in there, but that obviously goes in your bag because how do I explain it? Your rig's going to be sat in all sorts of different positions. So you need the hook link to be able to be flexible, be bending from time to time, and then never snaps or anything. Where is it? £20. Never ever had any snappers in that at all. And
Okay.
it's quite reluctant because obviously I fish Poaching Farm fishery on Long Lake quite a lot, and that's got huge cats in, and it doesn't seem to have a tear. Would you say tear? Because obviously the cats have pads, and it
Yeah.
just seems to be really strong. So it works a treat. You
Okay,
always use that
brilliant.
bags. Yeah.
And what about hooks and stuff?
So I've got. I think you see them.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
Size
yeah, the
six.
Excalibur, yeah, a good
Side
solid
six
hook.
wide gapes, brilliant. Put a little screw on them with a stopper, and then I'm not a fan of hairs. I just think it screws easier, and I've
Yeah,
never really
okay.
never wound in and not had bait on a screw except for when it's in a fish's mouth. So I always use screws. But
Yeah,
yeah,
well you can't, if you're confident in it, then
yeah,
that's fair enough.
yeah. The
Do
one
you
gets
use
really
do
firm
you use
hold.
any of the rigmarole tubing at all? Use their
Yeah.
free fall
Oh
tubing?
wow, that stuff's insane. Everyone's I swear now. It's like one of you use it yourself. It's like one of the new bigger things. I say it's only going to get bigger as well. Well, easy to thread through, much quicker than your normal plastic tubing. So yeah, line drops straight through it, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'll be honest, you say, I've been using that for a
Yeah,
few years now. I mean, bear in mind that product's been around for, I'm sure it's 15 to 20
yeah.
years,
I'll be
but
starting now.
I think it's one of those products, the same as once you've seen it and used it,
Yeah, so
you wonder why you've not been using it all
yeah,
the time.
definitely.
So in terms of your other setup, your rods, reels and stuff,
Yeah.
do you use anything particular or anything that you favour?
No, never really. This side is in a 9 foot X tractor. I think they're Sonic.
Oh,
Sonic
yeah, the
rocks. Yeah,
extractors,
they're
yeah.
brilliant. As I found the 8 foot, I had eight foots previously. They're just that bit too small, and then a
Right.
10 foot's kind of a bit clunky for me anyway. So
Yeah.
obviously I'm only 4 foot, so the 9 foots I found were perfect. I could do sort of medium to short range fishing with them easily without
Right.
using a 10 foot, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of like, yeah, so I like using them quite a lot.
And what are your reels? What reels you using?
The Daiwa reels, they're brilliant as well. Brilliant reels. I
Yeah.
always since we started getting into carp fishing. So yeah, and I've changed them once. I've went
Got a little whiskers, aren't
yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you your social. I mentioned at the beginning about your social media presence. I mean, I do know that you've had a video that went. I'm guessing the term is viral with the amount of views you got, but bizarrely was nothing to do with your fishing. It was actually going back to the ice bucket challenge. Is that right?
That was it. That was it. I know. Yeah, mental. That was God. That was. I made the mistake of not posting it on TikTok.
But it was your mum, wasn't it?
Yeah, so mum was like, "Oh, go on," but and him, he was like, "Go on, post it, just post
Well, no,
it."
but it was your mum's challenge.
Yeah, 10
You,
years ago.
you were in it with your sister, weren't you?
Yeah, how was I? How old? 4, 5, 4.
Yeah, well, 10 years. So yeah, you must have been 3 or 4.
Well,
But
Yeah.
and I had the pleasure of dumping the water on top of you.
and then laughing afterwards.
It was yeah, that was carnage, wasn't it?
I actually had somebody send me that video to say, "Have you seen?" You know, they copy. "Have you seen this?"
Yeah.
And that's how I first saw it. And I was like, "Oh, that's Owen. I know who that."
God,
And
people
they
said that.
didn't believe me. They didn't believe me when I said, "Well, I know him." They were like, "Well, how do you know him? That's
Yeah.
ridiculous."
I
So
don't know if a lot of people know it was you though.
Well, I keep getting a few comments. They're like, "Oh, are you the kid from the ice bucket
Yeah.
challenge?" And it's like, "Yeah, I am."
yeah, are you the kid that was abused by your parents?
Yeah, yeah, that's me. Yeah,
I still are.
yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah,
So the social media is a massive thing now anyway, and it's
Yeah.
huge. It's huge in angling and especially in the carp fishing. So you seem to have quite mastered to put the two together. But I'm guessing, Andy, I'm presuming you have the main role as the cameraman.
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's a very good one.
I get told
Should
to
say.
stand here and hold it there and
Yeah,
walk backwards a lot.
yeah,
And then I get told off afterwards for not doing it
yeah.
how he wanted it
Too
done.
right. God.
So, but I mean, social media, camera control, and fishing. I've had a lot of learning to do in the last 5 years. I still can't say I know much about any of it.
Certainly not the camera side.
No.
I love it. I love it. So I mean, what do you think? What do you think makes good fishing content then? What you obviously get quite a few
Yeah,
likes and shares on the stuff you do on the different platforms. What for you? What do you think makes a good video? If you were to give advice to somebody who sort of wants to do what you're doing, what would you say?
So personally, for me, you've got to have an eye catching start to a video. So like you scroll through TikTok now, and you scroll on when it's not interesting. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna start, I always say to a lot of people, when you're holding a fish, talk while you're holding a fish, because if that comes up on your FYP, you'll be like, because you don't see that often if you're not into carp fishing, say.
Right. So what's your FYP?
That's for you page. So when you're scrolling through, so you still want to know that. The younger anglers will know what I mean. But yeah.
Right.
So like
Okay.
your feed then on Facebook.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. When you're scrolling through that stuff. So interesting pictures, interesting backdrops, something to catch the eye straight away rather than people flicking on, if that makes sense.
I think it's also that he's not sort of pretending to be the expert angler because he knows he's got a lot to learn. It's a real passionate interest, but he's under no illusions that he's not Dovey, Spooner, Abbey, or anything like that, or like yourself. And so I think he gets quite a lot of people get involved when he asks a question, which is a genuine question often. How could I do this differently, or how what works? Because he's really interested in learning and getting better at it, and that's the biggest thing for my wife and I, having watched all of this and how it's developed, is it's something that he's very, very passionate about, and it's improved his confidence, it's improved his interest in, picking up a book and reading about a topic.
Yeah.
So, it's not just the fishing, it's not just social media. Everything that he's been involved in is improved. progressed, and yeah, it's really kind of given him something to sort of get out of bed for in the morning.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, it's. I mean, the sport across the industry is all about attracting the next generation of anglers. You
yeah,
know, and it's good to have somebody that can find that sort of balance between the angling side and obviously the social media aspect of it. But again, I think for the younger generation, the social media is a big draw, but there's a there's a line where you've got to be doing it still for the fish and not for the likes.
Yeah,
And I think Owen
definitely.
seems to have found that he's got that balance from what I've seen on his social media. But also, obviously, he's angling, and as you just said, Andy, he's so keen to keep learning. I mean, obviously, it was on your social media. We went to France. I
Yeah.
mean, how did you find that, Owen? As opposed to fishing in the UK, what
Yeah,
were your
it's brilliant,
thoughts on
isn't it?
that?
Apart from the fact I got bullied 2 weeks, no, for a week in a row by these two. But yeah, the learning from him, Mark, obviously, is brilliant. Just seeing all these different, because I'm normally someone who's used like short hair rigs and short, hook links and stuff. And
Yeah,
then seeing Mark, you use like 8-inch ones, don't you? Like proper big.
yeah,
So
eight to sort of 10.
just seeing how different people fish was like, God, it's like mad in a way. But yeah, learning different rigs, different materials, and yeah, that was brilliant. Really good.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting trip. I mean, from my perspective, just to see how many tench could be caught in one session.
So,
I mean,
so
I think you literally did the French record for number of tench caught in 4 hours. Was
yeah,
amazing,
I know, it's mad.
especially given we didn't even know there was tench in that lake.
Yeah, so
Uh,
what was it? Because it's like the alarm went off. I was like, right, come on, that was first French carp, 10th. So I think that happened another 2 times. And now I think they had the smallest carp in the lake. It's like, oh, brilliant.
yeah, but you did. I mean, it was a good session, and so
Oh, yeah.
did you, other than obviously the hook links and stuff. How did you find the fishing compared to what you've been doing in the UK? Was it the same or anything sort of different?
Um, the only thing different I would kind of say was kind of the weather and the heat in a way. That feeding at midday when maybe back home here, you would say have your morning and evening spell.
Mm,
But over in France, it seemed to be 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, right when you think stuff wouldn't happen, say,
yeah.
it starts to go off over there. But apart from that, it's pretty much the same, I would say.
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
you change the way you fished anything? Did you change your baiting tactics or anything different to what you would have done
I
here?
thought this trip I'd try and spread my bait out a little bit more because I was fishing PVA bag and pop ups. So with the pop up rigs, rather than obviously driving it out in the boat, dropping it with a bit of spot and PVA pellet in, and then I would have cell and link in 2 different tubs and just be scattering them around everywhere.
Right,
Now I
okay.
feel like when because it was a guided trip this year, wasn't it? I learned this, I think, and when the fish come in, they're moving, so they're dropping down on one bait and then moving straight off. So by doing that, they'll drop down on your pop up, pick it up, and then move. So you see on some of the underwater films,
student something.
yeah, where they're on a bed of bait, they'll come in, they'll pick up the hook bait, say, but they'll be trying to feed on everything else, so they'll be sitting still. So by
Right,
getting them to come
okay.
in, pick up the hook bait and move off is pricking them, and therefore resulting in more hooked carp, I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
yeah, no, it makes sense. That's
So
a good observation from you,
yeah,
really, with that. Um, so, do you favour in your normal fishing? Do you favour a pop up, a wafter, a bottom bait? Are you
depends where I'm fishing
right? Okay,
massively, I think. So say I was going to Coking Farm, Long Lake, where it's high stock, I'll just be looking for the most attractive thing. So in a bag, I'd say fill it full of smart liquid and obviously spawn a PVA pellet in there, as I said, and then just a bright wafter because I feel like because of the volume of fish in there, that it is just like a feeding game, if that makes sense.
yeah,
You
yeah,
want them competitively going for it. So yeah, and then say I was fishing somewhere like John's Land, then say where I had the 40s, something a bit more sort of relaxed, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Not so. not so, how do I say, not so maybe obvious, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just,
So just
yeah.
interesting enough, the tactic you used to catch your PB, that wasn't standard tactic, was it? That was something you'd learned. Did you? What you said, something like guided fishing?
Yeah, so that was the washing line method.
Yeah. Do you want to just tell us, for those who don't know, what a washing line tactic is? So where did you learn that?
That was a week before on a guided session with Julian Chidgety.
Chidgey.
Yeah, that's it. So,
Oh,
sorry. But yeah,
Okay.
so we learnt
fire
that.
angling.
Yeah, that's it. On a private lake down in Southampton. And it just makes sense. It's a brilliant method on pressured waters, say, with less fishing.
So what's involved?
So it's where, so you basically have your rod, say, pointing up in the air, and then you'll have the line going over the lake to the opposite side of the bank. So it'd only work where you can obviously access the other side of the bank.
So
And
your
then
line's not actually in the water at that point.
over
No.
the top of the water,
Yeah.
sky high over it, with your rod tippers up in the air. And then I think you can get them off like Team or something. There's like washing line clips.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, your line goes through the top into the clip and out the bottom. And then out the bottom, you'll have probably a meter or two of slack line. So the idea of that is when the fish swims into it, they don't feel any line. Therefore,
Right.
not spooking off of line pressure.
Yeah.
Then obviously that goes into the slack line. You have your normal rigs and everything sat on the bottom, presented as you normally would. So in this case, a PVA bag. And then fish comes in, picks it up as they normally would, hooked by the lead, and then it'll take up that slack line. But obviously there's not much of it. So once it's taken it up, that'll pull it out the clip. Now, the idea is obviously because it would be tight to the clip, your line, your bobbin will drop down, it'll be a massive drop back, only needs one bleep because the line will be going slack. Then you know, obviously, you've got a fish on if it pulls out the clip. If that makes sense, kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. And that's the tactic you use. Which carp was that you caught? Or was that both your 40s on
No,
that?
all of yeah, both the 40s and then 220s as well.
Oh, so
So
so all 4 carp were caught
yeah,
on
all
that
40, yeah,
tactic.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I
Just
mean,
for fun.
obviously, that I think that clearly demonstrates that the right presentation in the right place.
Yeah.
Because up to that point, you'd struggled to catch, hadn't you? There was nothing really
Oh yeah,
happening.
a day or two in, wouldn't it?
No, he was in a good mood for 2 days before that.
See, I can't flank it. I was just thinking, nah, come on. Not because, not because it's an easy water, but I mean, because of the size of
Yeah,
the fish.
it's a big fish in there.
Yeah.
And it,
Oh,
within
doesn't flank.
hours, he was going home without anything.
Yeah. And then it just turned around.
Yeah,
Don't know what it was.
yeah.
Just decided.
Would you
Flick of a
say
switch.
that's your best session so far?
Yeah, best session this year. Yeah, probably so far.
Well,
France was good.
what actually changed big time, wasn't it? Was that
Here we go.
that's when you switched over to mainline.
Well, yeah, there was that. So I was expecting him to take the lick then. But yeah. What was it I did? The night before I went to bed, I had some of these 10 mil freezer sell. So I just thought, just go round handful over each spot. Came out the next morning, bit slower in the morning. So I did it again, just to top up, something might have been in overnight. And then out of nowhere, one went and then other went. I think it was different rods, wasn't it? All 4. So switched on.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So in terms of mainline, what's your favoured boilie? What's your go-to?
Oh, it's a difficult one as well. I like the cell and link mix. I like
Yeah.
that a lot. I think this is two different colours, flavours, mixing them together for me works really well anyway.
So I think.
Yeah. So yeah, mixing them about, and then I use ISO fish for if I'm going for catfish. So
Oh
use
yeah.
that.
So this
Seems
is
to work really well.
this is something else that you've. What's your biggest cat so far?
Not very big, 32, I think, £32.
And you were specifically targeting that, were you, of the catfish?
Yeah, I think so. It was
Is this at Coking
in
Farm again as well?
Coaching Farm Long Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, right. Okay.
yeah.
So
So
you're a bit of a celebrity down there, aren't you? So I
yeah,
hear.
I know we do like it down there. It's good fun. Cafe's
You
amazing.
you
So,
seem to
yeah,
get recognised quite a bit.
yeah, a little bit down Coaching, yeah. But yeah, no, brilliant complex. It's got everything down there. So
Is
yeah.
that so? So the is catfishing something that you'd like to sort of do more of, or is it just for a change every now and
It's yeah,
again?
something a bit different. Obviously, I'd love to go for bigger cats one day eventually, but it's just something like fishing on long lake. You could have a 40-pound cat or a 40-pound carp. There's cats up to 70 pound in there, so it's
Oh
just
right,
like
okay,
not knowing as well what you're gonna catch. You never know what it's gonna be,
yeah,
so stuff like that as well. Obviously,
okay. So you're what are you now? 15 now, aren't you?
I think so.
So
Yeah.
you're now in your final senior year doing exams, is that right?
Yeah, GCSEs next year, so 2026, springtime. We're doing
Right.
them, getting them out of the way. Can't wait.
Where did you do your? I think your I forgot, what do they call it? Work experience. I think yours
Yeah,
was a bit of an unusual one, wasn't it? For what most kids would choose.
yeah. So that was down at Parker Baits and Tommy's Hackle, sorry. That was a brilliant. That's where I found out about the rigmarole tubing. Because I think on the Monday, my first day of me being there, I was packing orders with some of the boys there. And I must have done about 50 orders today, not very many. And there must have been 25 of them, so half of them was the rigmarole tubing. And it is like,
Wow.
they're selling a lot of it there. So it's just like, found out about that. Obviously, you were already using it. So it's kind of like,
Well,
fair enough.
yeah. I mean, they've gone. Tommy's Tackle actually have their own colour, like a
Yeah, I've seen
silty
that as
colour
well.
of it now as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
definitely
then,
worth a
like, as
look.
we've already said, I think once you've used that tubing, you'd never go back to
Yeah, you
anything
will.
else.
Definitely not.
It's a bit of a given, really.
Yeah,
So, where do you see things moving on from? Like, obviously, I presume sort of once the weather picks up,
yeah,
and you've got your, I suppose really you've got to, it's your exams at the moment, isn't it? Get your
yeah. I
exams out
know.
of the way. Are you looking to sort of, um, what are you looking for the future in terms of academically wise? Will you be staying on school? Are you looking at doing?
So, planning to do sixth form. So my school, not
Okay.
sure about any others. I think you've got to do 3 A levels. So I'm into my financial advising sort of thing with money.
Oh, okay.
So I'm doing I think it's a business diploma, which counts as 2 A levels.
Right.
So fingers crossed, touch wood, I'm gonna try and get out of the third one so I can do more fishing because sixth form.
News to me.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I reckon it's a fair reason to, isn't it?
A-
Obviously.
Ask him when he's going to start revising.
Well, yeah, I was just about to say, I'm
Fine.
not getting involved in you skipping school to go fishing,
Yeah,
but
actually. Yeah.
I, I think, I think, yeah, I mean, would you like a career in fishing? Is that sort of,
Oh
or
yeah,
you
definitely.
would? Yeah.
That's why I think I'm into sixth form because you're not in all day. It's and well, it's true, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
It's an hour or two a
Sure,
day.
that's the main reason why you want to be at sixth form.
Well, well, but it's not like an apprenticeship
Yep.
where you're working straight away. It's
Yeah.
still
I,
time
I hope
off
none of your
in summer.
tutors ever watch this interview.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
So it's just delaying working now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough.
And
All
trying to
right.
do more fishing. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's fair. So, have
yeah.
you? So, for 2026, have you got any plans of what you want to do, or what you'd like to do, what you'd like to catch, where you'd like to fish, anything like that?
We haven't really, have we? Just try and fish more often. We got a skill, how do I say it? Skill school books with Judy and Sisley again. Yeah, inspired angling in March.
Yeah.
March time. So that's where we'll meet up at a lake. And he's quite knowledgeable with fishing. So he'll teach us all different rigs, different bits and bobs about it, and then you get to fish, obviously overnight. So it's 2 nights long. So that's what we've got planned.
You're hoping to go to
Start.
France again with that chap from Talking Carp?
Yeah, you mean that one that bullies me about not catching tench all week or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. So hopefully I'll
Yeah.
go.
Well, yeah. I mean, now you've done that, you can skip that. You could perhaps target the bream this time.
No, don't. Tench are better than bream, though. I'll say that. Yeah, it could have
But
been worse.
but for the record, it's still a blank.
Yeah, yeah,
You
all
want a
right.
30 though, don't you? You want a 30.
Yeah, I knew. Oh, yeah.
Not 30 bream, but
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you were extremely close to that this year.
Oh,
It
it's 2
was.
ounces off. It's 3
I know
ounces.
that
Still 3
that
ounces.
was That was unfortunately that was
Yeah.
that was one of them. But you see, again, we don't round up in carp fishing.
No, we don't. Here we go again. Here we go. All right. If you haven't seen the video, I was with a mate one day. It's his first day out fishing with me. I think he had a 12-pound, 15-ounce carp. So I said in the video, he's caught this. We'll round it up to 13. And I've never heard not about it since from Mark. Every time we're on call, he mentions that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's only an ounce. I wouldn't do it with a bigger carp.
So, so what have you got any plans with your social media? Are you looking to?
Yeah, he said he wants to reenact the ice bucket challenge.
No,
Oh,
absolutely not.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Let's not even go there. That is not
That
happening.
sounds doable.
Yeah,
No, it
definitely.
doesn't. Not
I'll
happening.
get the bucket ready now.
No, not a chance.
So, have you when you do your content? Again, this is more for sort of information for the others out there. Do you hold content back? I know a lot of the pro anglers do. So, when in the times when, like now, when you're not fishing,
Yeah.
you still have content to put through. Is that something you kind of think about?
To be honest, no, not this year. No,
No,
because well, I didn't really expect it to blow up as it has. Say,
right.
so it's kind of. I tried in the summer when we were doing it more to get a post out every 2 days. Now, obviously, coming into winter, that's slowed off because I would normally try and hold stuff back. But recently, I've been posting photos of me with fish that wouldn't have made, say, the front page on a fishing weekend, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So that's been going down all right. I like to ask people like their PBs and how they're actually getting on. Because seeing some of the photos is mental, some of the fish that other people are catching. So I love doing videos like that, asking how people are actually getting on in their fishing as well. So I like
right.
doing that.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
do any of your mates, any of your friends fish?
I know one or two that fish in the year above, yeah. So that's good. Obviously.
Carp anglers as well.
Yeah, carp anglers. Obviously I take a mate out every now and then. You met him before.
Oh
Charlie, so
yeah,
we go
yeah,
out every now
Charlie.
and
Yeah,
then. It's a good laugh. Good to get out for a day.
yeah. Andy, what about in terms of your fishing? So, if Owen quit tomorrow, would you carry on and pick up his gear and get out there, or is it something that you're doing just because he's doing?
No, I've had some great times out with him. We've been to some amazing places. We've been fishing on lakes that I've kind of driven and cycled past for years. Didn't even know they were there.
Right.
So it's been really good. Proper sort of break from the work environment. So yeah, I think I probably would. It's not something I've thought about, to be honest, much, but yeah, I'd certainly miss it.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, when you fishing with like your son, like that kind of, I did it with mine. It is it's a nice thing to do. It's nice to
Oh, it's
have that
brilliant.
same sort of passion. But obviously, my son's was driven because that's what I was doing. So
Mm.
he just kind of naturally got into
Yeah,
it, and then but he made the choice of what he wanted to fish for in the
yeah,
end.
sure.
And obviously, well, I say he was given the choice, but there was only one.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are surprised when they find out that I don't fish. So when
Yeah, I
they
mean that exactly that. Yeah,
yeah, so when people come up to us on the bank and speak to him, most people do think he's got into it because of me.
Mm.
And actually, people have been brilliant, like absolutely great. Once they find out that I clearly don't know what I'm doing, that they do offer as much advice and as help as possible. It's been brilliant. We've met some fantastic people. We've not actually met any bad eggs. If everywhere we've been, everyone's
Yeah.
been
Well,
absolutely brilliant.
that was one of the things I was gonna just touch on the social media. Obviously, there are there's negative comments to the downright abusive. Um,
Mm.
how do you deal with that, Owen? Does that phase you at
To
all?
be
Or do you
honest,
just
I think it bothers him more. I look at it
yeah
as in a way, it's almost like, bring it on in a little bit because you see some comments. I always look at them and think, can I reply to this? If you can, it sets everyone else off because they're all thinking the same thing as me. And then other times when it's just a completely stupid, irrelevant comment, you'll get other people that will comment at them. So
Yeah.
in a way, by putting that stupid comment, they're just making that post do better and better and better, therefore benefiting me and my page more and more and more. So it's just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
absolutely.
carry
I
on, I
th-
guess. If you want to do that, go ahead. It don't never affected me, but
yeah,
it's
I think
and
I
the
think
others.
you're. I mean, the attitude you have with that, I think, is absolutely spot on. And I think
Yeah.
it's one of those. From looking at your social media, anyway. I mean, you get more positive comments.
Oh yeah,
10
definitely.
times more positive than you do
Yeah.
the negative. And
So
a
I
lot of the
keep an eye on
negative.
it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
keep an eye on it
yeah,
closely, but and I think, like Owen said, I mean, it seems to probably bother myself and my wife more than it does Owen. But there's a few sort of things that we want to sort of keep an eye on. One is obviously his reaction to it and how it's making him feel. But also, we've always wanted it to still be about the fishing.
mm,
So I kind of never, or I hope it never happens, but I never wanted to sort of see it become, I need to go fishing for content. It's
yeah,
always got to be, I'm fishing, and if I get content from it, great.
Yeah.
yeah,
One thing I would say, because a lot of parents probably would look at it and say, well, look, you're opening them up for criticism and bullying, etc. But, you know, quite literally back in, lockdown, before it, trying to get him to read anything, trying to get him to show an interest in anything, it's quite difficult. And this hobby sport has very much changed his whole look, that whole outlook. His confidence has gone through the roof. Um, he's meeting people from all different walks of life. He's getting stopped by people quite regularly that recognise him. Not all of them into fishing, but most of them approach him to say hello and just to say that they love, watching what he's doing.
yeah, yeah.
I think quite a few people have said, "Oh, it's actually making me interested in having a go at it." And
Wow.
if, as parents, if we saw it being anything other than that,
Mm.
then obviously we'd be more cautious with allowing him on social media, because lots of people think that it's a negative thing. Um, that again, you're putting him in a position where he could be vulnerable. But actually, for Owen, it's been a massively, um, it's just been such an advantage to his whole outlook and how he is sort of today.
Mm.
So, we're one of the few, I would imagine, that, COVID made him find fishing, and it's been the best thing for him. So
Yeah,
without
yeah.
without that lockdown, I don't think he'd be doing what he's doing now.
Wow. Yeah. So,
So,
if there was one positive to take from it,
well,
that's
exactly.
definitely it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but we do keep an eye on it. Like I said, I do keep an eye on it.
Mm.
But it's normally him saying to me, just, any of the silly comments, which, to be fair, they are few and far between.
Yeah.
Um, and it's him saying to us, just don't worry about it.
Don't worry
Uh,
about it. Yeah, that's
yeah, which
really
is
good. It's
fine.
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, well, okay. It's been good. I suppose really the last final thing we need to, I should address what they call as the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
And is the fact that, is it true that you're a Bristol City fan?
Yeah, it is. It is
Yeah.
true.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
what,
yeah. Where's this going?
Is there any other team?
No,
well,
no.
to be fair, you they did Coventry City a favour the weekend, I think it was.
Oh, so I forgot you're a Coventry fan as well.
No, no,
I
well,
forgot
I'm
about
not.
that.
I'm from
Right,
Coventry,
yeah,
so obviously I support Manchester United. But
yeah, that makes sense, of course, because you know.
but yeah,
Yeah,
City
they beat Wanderers.
Coventry dropped points, and then didn't Bristol beat Middlesbrough?
Yeah, Middlesbrough on the
So
weekend.
Middlesbrough then dropped points, leaving. I
Yeah,
mean,
which
if
is just resulted in Coventry being all over
well, if
us. And
yeah, I mean 6 points ahead still at this time of the season. I think if Coventry don't get a promotion this year, it's
There's
never going to
nothing
happen, is it?
worse, and if you know what I mean, you'll agree with me, than having a non-football fan like Mark taking the mick out of your team when you are a football fan. It is the most annoying thing
Yeah,
ever.
well, yeah, I didn't even know Bristol City had a team until I met you.
Yeah, more annoying than the tension grass top thing I get bullied for every day. Yeah. So yeah, there you are.
Brilliant. Right, guys, we'll leave it there. We'll catch up hopefully in maybe in the spring when you've been back out. I'm sure we'll keep people posted on what our plans are for
Yeah,
hitting Europe
definitely.
again this in 2026. So, Owen, Andy, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll catch up soon.
Cool. See you in a bit.
Thanks for all your help.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.